Article 404 addresses the use of snap switches, stipulating they must be used in accordance with their rating. The ratings typically refer to the switch itself. The inquiry raises the question of whether a 15 amp rated snap switch can be used on a 20 amp circuit, specifically when multiple loads are switched, and the aggregate load does not exceed the 15 amp rating of the switch. Based on the stipulations within Article 404, there is no explicit prohibition against using a 15 amp rated snap switch on a 20 amp circuit under the specific conditions outlined. This allowance hinges on the fact that the multiple loads being switched collectively do not surpass the 15 amp rating of the switch. To clarify, this means the total current drawn by all the connected devices or appliances controlled by the switch at any given time must remain at or below 15 amps. It is crucial to differentiate between the circuit's overcurrent protection, in this case a 20 amp breaker or fuse, and the switch's current carrying capacity. The 20 amp circuit protection safeguards the wiring of the circuit from overloads and short circuits. The 15 amp switch rating, on the other hand, indicates the maximum current the switch's internal components can safely handle without overheating or failing. Several factors must be considered before implementing such a configuration. Firstly, the individual loads connected to the circuit must be carefully evaluated to ensure their combined current draw does not exceed 15 amps. This often requires calculating the current consumption of each device using its wattage rating and the circuit voltage, typically 120 volts in standard residential applications. The formula to determine current is amps equals watts divided by volts. For example, a 100 watt light bulb on a 120 volt circuit draws approximately 0.83 amps. Secondly, it is essential to consider potential future load increases. If there is a possibility that additional devices may be connected to the circuit in the future, which could push the total current draw beyond 15 amps, it would be prudent to use a switch with a higher ampacity rating, such as a 20 amp switch. Thirdly, the type of load being switched also plays a significant role. Inductive loads, such as motors or transformers, can draw significantly higher inrush currents when initially energized compared to the steady-state current draw. This inrush current can potentially damage or shorten the lifespan of a switch that is not adequately rated to handle it. If inductive loads are present, it is advisable to consult the switch manufacturer's specifications to ensure it is suitable for switching such loads. Fourthly, proper wiring practices are paramount to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical installation. All wiring connections to the switch must be made securely and with appropriately sized conductors. The conductors must be rated for the voltage and current of the circuit, and they must be properly insulated to prevent short circuits. The switch itself must be installed in an approved electrical box and securely mounted to prevent mechanical stress in the wiring connections. Fifthly, adherence to all applicable electrical codes and regulations is mandatory. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides comprehensive guidelines for electrical installations, and it is essential to comply with all relevant requirements. Local codes may also impose additional restrictions or requirements that must be followed. Ignoring these codes can lead to hazardous conditions and potential legal liabilities. In summary, while Article 404 does not explicitly prohibit the use of a 15 amp rated snap switch on a 20 amp circuit when switching multiple loads that do not exceed the switch's rating, careful consideration must be given to various factors, including the total load, potential future load increases, the type of load, proper wiring practices, and adherence to all applicable electrical codes. It is always recommended to consult with a qualified electrician if there is any doubt about the suitability of a particular switch for a specific application. Furthermore, it is important to understand the purpose of circuit breakers. They are there to protect the wire. So, for example, if you had 14 American wire gauge wire on a 20 amp circuit, you are violating the code. The minimum size conductor is 12 American wire gauge for a 20 amp circuit. Using a 15 amp switch on a 20 amp circuit, as long as you do not exceed the rating of the switch, is permitted. However, a 20 amp switch would also be permitted on a 15 amp circuit. But you cannot put a 20 amp breaker on a 15 amp circuit with a 15 amp rated wire. If you did that, you would need to downsize the breaker to 15 amps to protect the wire. The breaker protects the wire and the switch is rated for its maximum amperage. Let's further break this down into specific sections that relate to switches as defined in the NEC. Article 100 defines a snap switch as a general use switch constructed so that the moving contact mechanism is enclosed in a case and suitable for direct mounting on a surface or in a recessed box. 404.2 covers the marking requirements for switches. Switches must be marked with the current rating, voltage rating, and any other ratings as necessary, such as horsepower ratings. This helps ensure the proper switch is selected for the application. 404.3 covers enclosure types. Switches must be mounted in enclosures suitable for the environment they are installed in, whether it is indoors, outdoors, or in a hazardous location. This protects the switch from physical damage and environmental factors. 404.4 covers the type of switches to be used. The type of switch must be appropriate for the load it is controlling, such as incandescent lighting, inductive loads, or motor loads. Using the incorrect type of switch can lead to premature failure or hazardous conditions. 404.6 covers the connection of switch terminals. Conductors must be properly connected to switch terminals to ensure a secure and reliable connection. Loose or improperly connected wires can cause overheating, arcing, and potentially fire hazards. 404.7 covers the accessibility and grouping of switches. Switches must be readily accessible and may be grouped together for convenience, provided that they are properly identified and arranged. This helps facilitate easy operation and maintenance. 404.8 covers the grounding of metal switch boxes. Metal switch boxes must be grounded to provide a path for fault current and reduce the risk of electric shock. This is a critical safety measure that must not be overlooked. 404.9 covers the arrangement of switches controlling lighting loads. Switches controlling lighting loads must be arranged so that they can be easily operated and identified. This ensures convenience and safety for occupants. 404.10 covers the location of switches. Switches must be located in readily accessible locations and not obstructed by furniture or other objects. This ensures that they can be easily operated in case of emergency. 404.11 covers the height of switches. Switches must be mounted at a height that is convenient for occupants to operate, typically between 42 inches and 48 inches above the finished floor. This ensures accessibility for people of varying heights. 404.12 covers faceplates for flush-mounted switches. Flush-mounted switches must be equipped with faceplates to cover the wiring and provide a finished appearance. Faceplates must be securely attached and made of non-conductive material. 404.14 covers the use of snap switches. Snap switches must be used in accordance with their ratings and not subjected to loads that exceed their capacity. This ensures safe and reliable operation and prevents premature failure. When dealing with electrical systems, safety is always the top priority. Therefore, understanding and adhering to these NEC guidelines is crucial for ensuring the proper installation and operation of switches in any electrical system. Always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any doubts or questions about electrical installations. Now, delving deeper into the specifics of using a 15-amp switch on a 20-amp circuit, it is imperative to understand the concept of overcurrent protection. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect the conductors of a circuit from excessive current flow, which can cause overheating and potentially lead to fires. The size of the overcurrent protection device is typically determined by the ampacity of the conductors. For example, 14 American wire gauge copper conductors, which are commonly used for 15-amp circuits, have an ampacity of 15 amps according to NEC Table 310.15. 816. 12 American wire gauge copper conductors, which are commonly used for 20-amp circuits, have an ampacity of 20 amps. Therefore, it would be a violation of the NEC to install a 20-amp overcurrent protection device on a circuit wired with 14 American wire gauge conductors. In a scenario where a 15-amp switch is used on a 20-amp circuit, the overcurrent protection device still needs to protect the conductors of the circuit. This means that if the conductors are 12 American wire gauge copper, a 20 amp breaker is permissible. However, the switch itself becomes the weakest link in the circuit. If the total load in the circuit exceeds 15 amps, the switch may overheat and fail, even though the breaker will not trip. This is why it is crucial to carefully calculate the total load on the circuit and ensure that it does not exceed the switch's rating. It is also important to consider the type of load being switched. Resistive loads, such as incandescent lights and heaters, draw a steady current that is relatively easy to calculate. Inductive loads, such as motors and transformers, draw a much higher inrush current when they are first turned on. This inrush current could be several times higher than the steady-state current, and it can potentially damage a switch that is not rated to handle it. For this reason, it is often necessary to use a switch with a higher ampacity rating when switching inductive loads. In addition to the NEC requirements, there may also be local codes and regulations that govern electrical installations. These local codes may be more stringent than the NEC, and it is important to comply with all applicable requirements. It is also important to note that electrical codes are constantly evolving, and it is important to stay up to date with the latest changes. The NEC is typically updated every 3 years, and it is essential to use the latest edition of the code when designing and installing electrical systems. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to use a 15 amp switch on a 20 amp circuit depends on a variety of factors, including the total load on the circuit, the type of load being switched, and compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. If there is any doubt about the suitability of a particular switch for a specific application, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. Another consideration is the potential for future expansion of the circuit. If there is a possibility that additional loads may be added to the circuit in the future, it would be prudent to use a switch with a higher ampacity rating to accommodate the increased load. This can help avoid the need to replace the switch later on, which can be a costly and time-consuming process. Furthermore, it is important to consider the quality of the switch itself. Not all switches are created equal, and some switches are more durable and reliable than others. It is generally advisable to use switches from reputable manufacturers that have a proven track record of quality and reliability. This can help ensure that the switch will provide years of trouble-free service. In addition to the ampacity rating of the switch, it is also important to consider its voltage rating. The voltage rating of the switch must be equal to or greater than the voltage of the circuit. For example, a 120-volt switch can be used on a 120-volt circuit, but a 240-volt switch would be required for a 240-volt circuit. Using a switch with an inadequate voltage rating can be dangerous and can lead to premature failure of the switch. When selecting a switch, it is also important to consider its environmental rating. Switches that are installed in damp or wet locations must be rated for wet locations. These switches are designed to withstand exposure to moisture and are less likely to corrode or fail. Switches that are installed in hazardous locations, such as areas with flammable gases or dusts, must be rated for hazardous locations. These switches are designed to prevent explosions and fires. Proper labeling is also crucial for electrical safety. All circuits and switches should be clearly labeled to indicate their purpose and voltage. This can help prevent accidental shock or damage to equipment. Labeling should be done with permanent markers or labels that are resistant to fading or peeling. Regular inspections and maintenance are essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems. Switches should be inspected periodically for signs of damage or wear. Loose connections should be tightened, and damaged switches should be replaced promptly. Circuit breakers should be tested regularly to ensure that they are functioning properly. The electrical panels should be kept clean and free of obstructions. By following these guidelines and consulting with qualified electricians, you can help ensure the safe and reliable operation of electrical systems. The key takeaway is that while a 15 amp switch on a 20 amp circuit is permitted under specific conditions, a thorough understanding of electrical principles, codes, and safety practices is paramount.